And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and welcome the teams to the court. First, the visitors coming in from Laverne, California with a 501 record. Please help me.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, and welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada, the South Point Arena, as we get you ready for day number 2 of the 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic. And we open up with a little cat scratch fever. It's the Laverne Leopards and the Rhodes University Lynx battling each other in the first of 2 women's games to start our action, and we'll get right to it. Starting lineups for the University of Laverne Leopards out of Laverne, California. We start with the 5'3" junior guard from Santa Clarita, California, number 0, Marissa Howell. She is joined in the backcourt by the senior 5'5" point guard from Moreno Valley, California, number 10, Naomi Jackson. Next out for the Leopards, the 5'11" freshman forward from Spanaway, Washington, number 20, Alyssa Smith. Next for the Leopards, wow, that is black on gray. That is a tough read. The 5'11" senior forward from Fremont, California, last year's All-SCIAC honoree, number 25, Kiara Brown. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Leopards, the 5'8" senior guard from Needles, California, number 2, Valentina Limon. So Howell, Limon, Smith, Brown, and Smith rounding out the starting lineups for the Rhodes Lynx. We start with the 5'7" sophomore guard from Little Rock, Arkansas, number 10, Avery Marsh. Next out, already out there, the 5'6" junior guard from Franklin, Tennessee, number 1, Kirsten C. Next out for the Lynx, the 5'5" sophomore guard from Austin, Texas, number 25, Audrey Griffith. Then the 6' sophomore forward from Houston, Texas, number 34, Gianna Velakos. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Lynx, the 5'11" senior forward from Little Rock, Arkansas, number 55, Catherine Altoff. The Leopards are coached by Anthony Mason in his first year as a head coach with the Leopards, his 3rd overall, and he has been extremely successful at the Division III level. Homecoming for Anthony, who's a West Coast native, after spending the last couple of years in Poughkeepsie, New York at Vassar. Rhodes University, the now head coach, longtime assistant under Rodney Rogan, Judy Thurman. And congratulations to Judy on her very recent nuptials. Tip is won by Laverne. I'm joined in the broadcast booth by our producer extraordinaire and the host of Hoopsville, Dave McHugh. Dave, I can't welcome you to Vegas. You've already been here, but nice to see you.
Yeah, I've been here a little bit. At least this trip was uneventful. Good to see you, sir. Welcome.
Yes, everyone getting here on time and in one piece. Rhodes.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Yeah, Rhodes not able to get here last year because of the weather, but they grabbed both their men's and their women's team. And Catherine Altoff down low. First shot is off the rim, no good. And the Leopards grab the rebound.
One of 3 schools brought both men's and women's programs to the event this year. Trinity, Texas being one of the others.
Yep. And Laverne. Yep.
We should point out Laverne, the other team here.
Rhodes in the red and white out of the Southern Athletic Association. Memphis, Tennessee, not just out of that conference, they've dominated it. They've won the last 3 conference titles. As Laverne coming down the floor.
Interesting enough, they'll see a former and now future conference mate in Trinity here at the event.
Trinity will move into the conference next year. The Leopards with the ball. Driving down low, Kiara Brown, up and good. And Kiara Brown, who leads this team in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks, gets the Leopards on the board. It's 2-0 Laverne.
Yeah, nice little move inside, power dribbled it, and went up strong.
Kirsten C. down low to Altoff. Rhodes will take the 3. It rattles in. Very good for Audrey Griffith, who leads the team in three-point shooting, 32.4%.
A little too aggressive defensively. I was just about to say they're going to like the rims here. They're not too stiff, not too loose. Friendly bounce in there, but a little too aggressive there on the defense from Griffith.
Laverne with the ball. Laverne out of the Southern California Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, or SCIAC for short, 5-1. Their lone loss on the year coming to a non-Division III opponent, NAIA Hope International, 4-0 against D3. Like teams in that part of the country, not a lot of results against D3 out of conference, which is why they're here. Kiara Brown driving in. Brown puts up the fadeaway and splashes it home. Pretty shot from Kiara Brown. She's got all four, and the Leopards back in front 4-3. Laverne last year won the SCIAC regular season, had an exceptional record, 24-3, but did not have the strength of schedule to get consideration for an at-large bid as Althoff scores.
Yeah, it was one of the largest regions there here.
Yeah.
Get some other opponents, get stronger opponents, but also out-of-region opponents.
Laverne had the best year in their program history, 24-3, 15-1 in the conference. Another foul on Rhodes. They lost a heartbreaker, and doesn't get any closer than this, 70-69 to Redlands in the finals, in the top 25 for the first time in program history. But it all ended on that last-minute shot to Redlands. No at-large bid. SCIAC generally a one-bid conference, but hoping a stronger non-conference roster. Of course, you got to win both of the games here for that to be the case. We'll get them as Kiara Brown seals off Althoff and scores easily. Yeah, Brown's got 6.
Nice feed from Smith in the process as well to get that nice quickly inside to Brown.
So Rhodes trailing Brown 6-5. The player, not the school. Fire up and good. Audrey Griffith for 3.
I'd be Griffith versus Brown at this point.
Oh. Rhodes a below average three-point shooting team. Just 26% on the year. It's coming in 282nd out of 425 teams, so a little below average.
Wow.
Well, Marissa Howell dials up the 3. And the 30% three-point shooter drills that one. And the Leopards finally have points from someone other than Kiara Brown. It makes sense that it's their other all-conference honoree from a season ago. Drive in, off the mark for Catherine Althoff. And the Leopards will bring the ball up the floor. Talked a little bit with Coach Mason beforehand. Says the team, by and large, intact from last year. He was a late hire. He announced in August, so everything pretty much set. Roster schedule, all that good stuff. Driving in and scoring, Valentina Limon for 2.
Nice little dribble drive on that one. Defense did not cover and found herself open on the lane.
Correct myself, that's Naomi Jackson. I was just anxious to show my Spanish pronunciation of lemon. Limon sisters, there's a pair of them on the Leopards. Pass down low and out of bounds off of the Leopards.
Yeah, Mars was driving in, was looking for kind of the pick and roll opportunity there. Her teammate just wasn't in the same timing, and she threw it out ahead of her and out of bounds.
First substitute of the game for the Leopards, the 5'5 senior guard from San Fernando Valley in California. Number 23, Brianna Torres checks in. She replaces not Howell, but Limon. Kick out. This is Torres. Leopards with an 11-8 lead. Brown looking to score again, that time a little off the mark. And the rebound controlled by AC Milam, who's checked in. Freshman guard for Rhodes. Rhodes graduating the Conference Player of the Year last year. They've had the Conference Player of the Year the last 4 seasons. A traveling violation. Alexis Matagani was the Player of the Year last year. The year before, they actually had another player who got injured in the first or second game of the year who was the reigning conference MVP. And they have Taylor Dupree, who's the conference's Defensive Player of the Year on their roster, but Taylor is injured and has not played yet this year. So Rhodes coach Judy Thurman trying to piece things together until the Lynx get into conference play where they are virtually unbeatable. Drive in, big screen, and offensive foul going to be called on.
I think she was set. I think the official caught kind of an awkward moment there as Smith was set with the screen and she got collided with, I think, I'm not sure who it was who ran into her trying to go through the screen, kind of shoved her. And I think from the official's perspective, it looked like she moved.
Yeah.
So just a bad, unfortunate call there.
Kayla Harang in the game for the Leopards. That's Harang right there, freshman from Los Angeles.
Yeah, she's replacing Brown.
Rhodes with the ball. Kirsten Say in trouble. Underside of the backboard. Rebound controlled by Torres. Leopards with an 11-8 lead halfway through the first quarter.
We talked about not a lot of changes. Of course, mentioned first-year head coach Anthony Mason, the coach that kind of brought them to prominence, left for Elmhurst in the CCIW.
Pass down low, Harang. Yeah, excellent job as kind of a homecoming for both coaches. Anthony Mason able to come back, where he's from the West Coast, and Jason Pruitt able to get back to the Chicago area, where I think he still lived, even though he was coaching at Laverne. Shot up, no good, rebound. And Alyssa Bongiovanni fighting for the rebound.
Yeah, Pruitt's wife, I guess, was living still in Chicago, so he's kind of commuting, per se.
Yeah, that's a long commute, Chicago to Los Angeles.
I think he had a place out in L.A., but still.
I hope so.
Yeah, exactly. No, but so that was kind of the surprise of the offseason, really. I think, you and I certainly had conversations with Pruitt about Laverne and where they were going to go.
Yeah.
And suddenly we got a press release.
Yeah. A nice move for both schools,
Absolutely.
both Elmhurst, who replaced their longtime head coach, and Laverne ended up with very good coaches. Shot, count it, and going to the line for the Lynx will be Kirsten C., the junior guard from Franklin, Tennessee.
Nice move by C inside, quick, decisive, no hesitation, draws the foul. And now the 83% free throw shooter goes to the line to get a three-point play.
Well, this is one of Rhodes' superpowers, 76% from the foul line. That is 15th in the country. And again, that's 15 out of 425. So very, very good.
Yeah, that's pretty darn impressive, especially considering free throw shooting's kind of been a little bit on the tail, kind of tailing off a little bit in terms of percentages. 76% is darn good.
Yeah, and Leopards are in the top half of Division III, but they're 69% to give you a sense for how good Laverne is. Shot up for Harang, no good, rebound controlled, and Althoff leading the break for the Lynx, who are looking for the lead now. C outside at the three, Althoff. Or actually, check that, it's Gianna Velakos. Three on the way, up and good. And the Lynx drill their third three of the game. That's Alyssa Bongiovanni for three. Just her fourth make on 8 attempts this year. That's a really good average. She shoots 53% from the field, so she should probably just put it up from wherever she's standing.
It's a sneaky good game. If you're looking at it on paper, you may not realize just how good this game matchup is.
Yeah, both teams, one in the tournament, one certainly had a chance to be. So this is definitely two of the quality programs in Division III. Driving in Avery Marsh. Marsh reverse layup, no good. But the second team all-conference honoree is fouled, and Avery will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, tough call there. I think it's going to go against Harang. I think she thought she got the ball clean on the reverse layup, and instead gets called for the foul. Her reaction certainly said that. And she will exit stage left.
Kirsten C. checks out of the game. Catherine Althoff returns for the Lynx. Go with a little larger lineup. 2 free throws coming for Avery Marsh. First one is good. Marsh leads the team in scoring, 14.6 points per game. Sophomore from Little Rock, all-conference honoree as a freshman. And second one, no good. Rebound controlled by Kiara Brown. 15-11, Lynx on a run to take the lead.
Oh.
Shot blocked.
Jeez. I was more surprised about where in the world
she was taking the three from?
No, where she came out, defensively she came out of. I was pretty convinced how, same as the first three, was in a good spot to pull the trigger, but Bongiovanni
sneaky long,
came out of nowhere.
She's got long arms and good height. So Kiara Brown driving in. Kiara kicks over for, this is Torres. Torres for Brown, and will go to work on Althoff. Nice move, powers by her. Layup for 2 is good. Kiara Brown with 8. And the Leopards within 2.
Bongiovanni can't step down because she's got to worry about the 3, so she's a little late in coming down to double up.
Laverne within 2. 3 on the way for the Lynx center, and that's Catherine Althoff for 3, and she's only attempted 3 all season before that one, but now she's 2 for 4.
I was double checking that stat. All right, so she's willing to take it, just not that often.
Oh, well.
And she'll get you.
not bothered by the backdrop as that's Howell fires up the three and misses.
I think Howell was a little quicker on the trigger that time, knowing Giovanni can close down the angle.
18-13. Lynx with 4 threes in this quarter. That one off the mark, no good. Ball did not hit the rim, so the shot clock does not reset. Good rotation. Head fake and a couple of extra steps there for AC Milam.
No hesitation, a little shuffle step as a result.
Lynx will bring in the 5'7" senior guard from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Anaya Lagarde.
And Aaron Wiggins into the game for the Leopards. Correction. No, I believe that's right.
33, yeah. Ball jarred, is able to save it. Naomi Jackson. Jackson, point guard. Here's the call over her head by Coach Mason. Mason, a graduate of Long Beach State. Howell, as the clock winding down, finds Brown. Brown, nicely doubled. Naomi Jackson for 3. No. Rebound controlled by Avery Marsh. Marsh looking to push. Quickly up the floor for Bongiovanni. Nice touch pass. Lagarde for 2.
Not only a nice touch pass, but she had Howell all over her as she tried to make that pass and still got it through. Great job.
Freshman from Lutz, Florida, Bongiovanni. Some nice moments here in the first quarter, and the Lynx up 7. Laverne with the ball. This is Tay Limon, the younger sister of the Limon sisters. And Limon's 3 is no good. Rebound controlled by Bongiovanni. Bongiovanni, 3 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in 5 minutes. Inside 15 seconds to play in the first quarter. Lynx have done well as Althoff drives in and scores. And the Lynx look like a well-oiled machine. 2 on the shot clock, on the game clock. Jackson gets it off late as Rhodes comes out and shoots 54% in the first quarter and 4 for 4 from 3. So doesn't get any better than that offensively, and the Lynx with a 22-13 lead.
Beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.
Welcome back to the South Point Arena Casino and Resort as the Rhodes Lynx in that first half came out on fire. 8 for 14 from the floor, 4 of 4 from 3. As the Lynx outscore the Leopards in that first frame, 22-13. Good first quarter for Kiara Brown, 8 points for Laverne, who was 6 of 15 in the first quarter, so not bad, 40%. 1 of 6 from 3. But Rhodes on fire from outside. Lynx come into the game 4-4, but playing much better in recent games. They've won 4 of their last 6. They are making enjoying the holiday season with lots of travel. Went down to Florida before this. Dropped their last game to Wesleyan of Connecticut. But have won 4 of 6 overall and are evened up their record at 4-4. And again, for the Lynx, it's all about the conference play where they've dominated. Last year they were 10-4 and a 5-second count.
Yeah, don't see
start
that
things
often.
off. No.
I think it's key. I mean, I think Laverne really took to heart what they had to do to bolster their situation.
Yep.
And really, maybe went overboard in 2 trips, who knows? But still took it to heart and really went out there to challenge things. Not all schools do that.
No, and they know they need the Division III record. They need to win, but they need the records against those opponents. Scribe in to score. Yep. If you're not familiar with the Division III landscape, Laverne is in the conference based around Los Angeles, but there's nobody within hundreds of miles of them in non-conference play. The next closest school would be UC Santa Cruz, which is way up north in California, and then you got to get the Pacific Northwest. So Jason Pruitt, who built this schedule for Laverne, knew he needed to get some more results, and Anthony Mason, who is familiar with that, playing in the Liberty League where they had a lot of – he had the opposite. In New York, you could, throw a tennis ball and hit 3 more Division III schools. As that ball is thrown out of bounds. 24-13, Lynx on top. Leopards bringing the ball up the floor. Smith, Jackson, Brown, Tay Limon, and Jocelyn Caliso, who's in the game. Freshman point guard from right nearby, Henderson, Nevada. Leopards have 2 Vegas area players on their roster. 3 is up and good for Calizo. Second 3 of the game for the Leopards, and they're within single digits. It's 24-15. Altoff drives in. Leopards with very balanced scoring. They had 6 different players score in the first quarter. 3 on the way, and that one's off the mark. They finally miss one, but a nice touch pass. Altoff to Vlachos. Vlachos with a good look the other way around. Vlachos to Altoff, and Altoff unable to convert. Naomi Jackson bringing the ball down the floor. Leopards averaging 65 points per game. Giving up 63, so a lot of close games. Kiara Brown again. Brown with 10 early. As Brown 5 of 6 to go with 3 rebounds in 10 minutes. Leopards within 7. Kirsten C. Ball stolen away. Good anticipation from Torres. Naomi Jackson down the floor.
Laverne might be down 7, but that's not going to be for long.
No. Brown shoots and scores, especially if this continues. Kiara Brown on fire. 6 of 7 from the floor. She's got 12. And a timeout taken by the Lynx.
Yeah, quick timeout here. Talk things over. Brown really good inside again. Quick, decisive, goes right up with it. And Rhodes might have felt 7 points was a decent lead the way they were playing in the first quarter, but Leopards are game for runs, but at the same time, you get Brown involved, you can rattle off 2, 4, 5, 10 points rather quickly if you can keep feeding it inside her and they can't close her out. I haven't seen her double teamed yet.
No, she's so fast. She's able to split whatever double team comes, and it doesn't really matter. Also, the Lynx 4 of 4 from 3 in the first quarter, and a couple of those coming from players who shoot them very, very rarely. So if you wanted to use the word lucky or fortuitous for the first half offense for Rhodes, it was balanced, but I don't think they're going to rely on threes from their center a whole lot. They got to get back into the offensive flow of things. AC Milan, excuse me.
Wait, we're playing soccer now? AC Milan?
Yeah, I know.
I'm intrigued, sir.
I asked how her last name was pronounced, and I got split results from her coaching staff, so we're going with Milam. If it's wrong, you can blame it on me. Bongiovanni tries to pass into triple coverage, and it's stolen away by Naomi Jackson. Jackson down the floor. Player to her left, head fake up off glass and good. Naomi Jackson with the finish.
Great steal, great pump fake, great pace in the middle of that. Got the deep, she knew she couldn't go to her left. Able to make a nice little run to make it off to the right. Nice job.
And an 8-0 run for the Leopards, excuse me. As the Lynx lead trimmed down to 3. Lynx aren't even getting good looks here in the quarter. Drive in. Well, that one falls. And a timeout by the refs just to check and make sure. Our refs for today's game, Dave?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep, we do have those listed. It is helpful. Vince Christosic, Daryl Gideon, and Bryce Melançon.
Melançon.
I almost had it.
French, all right.
We're allowed. Vince is, if you're looking at the camera, Vince is going to show up here on the left. Gideon's the trail, and Melançon is on the baseline.
Kiara Brown back to work. They have got to double her.
Right?
She is just killing them inside.
The only thing she's missed was a baseline turnaround
Yeah.
when she wasn't square.
And just barely missed it. She's 7 of 8. 14 points. Drive in and all kinds of hands grabbing at Ania Lagarde.
You almost want to scream, she's over here.
Yeah.
And it's a hats off because she's just taking advantage of what they're giving her.
Kirsten C to the free throw line. She likes this spot. Oh, well, she's an 83% free throw shooter.
Missed it by...
Just noticed Rhodes shoots very well from the free throw line, but it's all basically 4 players. C, Marsh, Milam, and Althoff have almost all of the free throw attempts. Now, they're just in their 9th game of the year, so that could even out, but a little unusual. 27-23. C splits a pair. As Kiara Brown back to work, you know it. Wow.
The trick with doubling her, though, is that she's so quick when she gets the ball.
Yeah, she is. This is like watching a little Division III version of Tim Duncan. She is something else. Kelsey Willingham into the game for the Lynx. 3 on the way, up and good. Bombs away from Avery Marsh. Marsh with her first 3 of the game. She's got 8. I think I know what's coming. No, not this time.
Maybe, well, no, now they're hedging.
Now they're doubling a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Hedging off of Naomi Jackson, who's not a great three-point shooter. The Leopards as a whole shoot 28% from beyond the arc. Willingham in a awkward but effective left-handed layup for Willingham.
Leopards had a breakdown in transition defense that time and allowed her the lane right down the middle from one side to the other.
Lynx playing with some injury issues. We mentioned Dupree is out, has not played yet this year. Mackenzie McCown, who had played 6 games, is out. And so players like Willingham, who have played very little this year, getting more action.
Foul away from the ball, and I think it was trying to keep track of Brown. And thus a foul, kind of holding on to her on the baseline.
Checking in for the first time this afternoon, this morning, depending on where you are, 5'8" sophomore guard from Bloomfield, New Jersey, number 22, Juliet Howell for the Lynx. Rhodes drawing from a wide geographic span. Obviously a very good school. Pass into the post, stolen away just to the wrong team as Howell just threw it right to Althoff. Althoff drives in completely untouched, scores, and Anthony Mason is hot.
Well, it's a couple times now that defensively they've not gotten down into position where they need to be.
30-second timeout.
They're giving up points. You can't transition offensively with quality and then give it up at the other direction defensively and allow people to walk right down the lane. And that's what we see. So both teams have called a timeout here in the second quarter when they've seen defensive lapses.
Well, sometimes you see teams struggle shooting here. We've talked often over the years about the unusual backdrop. But we don't have to talk about that right now because Rhodes is shooting 62% and Laverne is shooting 55%, mostly because Kiara Brown is shooting almost 80% on her own. So Jackson brings the ball up the floor. And again, the Leopards not great three-point shooters. Alyssa Smith shoots 46%, so she's exceptional, but not a lot of takes from the rest of the team. Jackson will shoot a little. Marissa Howell, who hit one earlier, would shoot a little. Jackson, oh, what a pass from Bongiovanni. Layup is good for Juliet Howell. Nifty play.
Anthony Mason immediately just looked right at his bench in frustration. And granted, that was a little different. It was quicker. It was a longer pass down court. But again, it was a transition basket.
Second assist for Bongiovanni, and they have both been very pretty. Howell. Outside. Leopards back down 11 after they got it to 3. Brown. Not this time. Little long. Ball tipped out, and Althoff controls the rebound. Althoff, someone might want to come up and pressure her because she looks uncomfortable dribbling the ball. Driving Bongiovanni to her right. Nice defense from Howell. Open look for 3. And it is off the front rim, no good. Jackson has it off the miss from Avery Marsh. Leopards bring the ball up the floor. Well, they draw closer. I can see it's not gray on black. It's green, forest green.
Of course.
On black with the orange. It's actually a pretty cool look.
Sure. You're not colorblind, sir.
I am not. Just not very attentive, apparently.
I like your black on gray because that looks what it looks like to me right now. With a little orange maybe on the sides.
36-25.
There's Ira Thor when we need him.
I know. That's what I was just thinking. Ball poked away out of bounds. Somewhere in New Jersey, I imagine.
Unithorns.
All kinds of subs waiting to check in for the Lynx. We get Lagarde. We get Kirsten C. And we get AC Milam back. No, yeah, that is Milam, 23. 36-25. Lynx with a chance to take their largest lead. Verne has not scored in 3 minutes, and Rhodes on a 9-0 run with 5 of their last 6. Kelsey Willingham's going to check in. So it's basically the, well, more or less the second team offense here for Rhodes, with the exception of Kirsten C. Lagarde. Open look for 3 for Howell, and it is a long 2, they'll say, for Howell. And Howell, yet another Lynx scorer, as they have been very balanced, and they've opened up now with 13-point lead. Well, we said they couldn't shoot like that forever, but maybe we were wrong. Kaylin Harang, nice pass down low, shot no good, but Valentina Limon is fouled, and she will go to the free throw line.
While Laverne may not be the better free throw shooting team of the two, these shots are going to be important for them to stay within touching distance by halftime.
Yep. Brown off the floor momentarily for Laverne, and that free throw no good for Limon, who's only attempting this will be her 7th free throw of the year, 2 for 6 for Valentina. Older sister, the 2, and she hits the second. (38-26). Howell heads to the bench for the Lynx. Gianna Velakos back in the game. And the Leopards going to get a substitution. Lagarde. That's Allison McGill who checked in for the Leopards from Ontario, California. That's McGill right there with the block, so immediate impact for McGill. Finds Harang, who will find Howell to bring up the ball.
Key stoppage, to say the least. Trying to keep it tight.
Yeah, chance to get this down to 10 or better. Kaylin Harang is harangued on the baseline by Willingham, but not enough as Harang goes to her offhand and scores. 38-28, nice move.
Yeah, great move by Harang.
Thank you very much to Pat. First field goal in the last 4 minutes for the Leopards. Willingham driving in. Awkward shot this time does not fall, but Lagarde with the rebound. Kind of fires it to nobody, but Willingham there for it. Shot, no. And Marissa Howell corrals the rebound. 60 seconds to play in the first half. Lynx jumped out to a lead. Leopards got it almost even, and then Rhodes pushed it back out to double digits. It's at 10 right now. Harang will take the long jumper, and it's a 3 for Kayla Harang.
Little mini run.
And that is her first 3 ever. Freshman in her first 3 attempt of the year. 38-31. 19 seconds on the shot clock. 12-second differential between shot and game. Lagarde guarded very closely. And the Leopards, good defense here from Valentina Limon. Lagarde kicks out. Howell gets her hand on it. Ball not stolen away completely. Shot clock didn't reset. 4 on the clock, 3 on the way. Off the rim, no good. Rebound, battling for it and controlling it. Well, maybe. Alyssa Smith was fighting for it, and the Lynx are going to get it on the jump ball.
That's too bad because the way Leopards were playing defensively there, though there seems to be a question here.
Yeah, you figure if they could get the ball and score,
right,
you'd feel pretty good going in after how things were. It was a 13-point lead 1:20 of game time ago, so
I mean, you get another 2 even, you're within 4 points. Am I doing that right? Not doing that math right.
5, but yeah.
5. I guess there's a conversation about whether this is Rhodes' ball. I think maybe the possession arrow had not changed.
Yeah.
So interesting enough, we'll go to the Leopards. Who had it at the break? Oh, Rhodes had it at the start of the quarter, didn't they not?
They did, yes.
Yeah, so this should be Leopards' ball.
Now, I don't recall there being a jump ball at any
not,
point during this quarter.
Not in the interim. Oh, they're going to go back.
I think they're going to ask us to rewind and watch the whole quarter just to see which.
I'm going to say no.
Lynx with the ball. 10 seconds on the clock. 7-point lead. Lagarde calls out for the screen, gets it, drives in. Harang with the steal. Just 2 on this clock. Harang hands the ball to the wrong team, and Howell is not going to get off the touchdown pass. So a decent closing run for the Leopards, but the Lynx shooting 63% from outside and 54% from everywhere. Head into the halftime with a 38-31 lead. We'll take a break. First of 6 here at the 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic. We'll be back in a bit.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Being at a liberal arts school and majoring in business, it definitely gives you both perspectives because I'm taking classes about art and music. I've been taking religious studies classes, but then I'm also taking these very specific classes about accounting or statistics and finance. So I'm glad that I went to a liberal arts school because I definitely got a completely different side of the education rather than just being a business major.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
I had numerous family members who've been taken away from heart disease and stroke. That drove me to pursue knowledge about health and well-being. Playing college football gave me an opportunity to get myself into college.
Goes to Parks. He's in the end zone.
That's when I decided that I want to go into personal trainer. I felt I would have a great opportunity to share my knowledge about well-being within Detroit. I hope to reach as many people as I can.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I used to never really talk, ever. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. It helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
Comprehensive learning
is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
I injured my shoulder when I was practicing platform diving. It was a blessing in disguise. When I went to physical therapy, I realized this is something I want to do. That's when I changed my major to physical therapy. I want to inspire people to do whatever they love doing. I'm fortunate to have Cliff as my coach. He made me believe that I can get back into diving after my injury to prove that nothing can stop me from chasing my dreams.
The beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome back. We get you ready for the second half of action. Quick look at the statistics for you in this one. The Lynx of Rhodes University with a 38-31 lead on the University of Laverne. Excellent shooting in the first half for both teams. Rhodes 57% in the first quarter and 54% overall. 63% from three for the Lynx. They were 5 of 8. They also out-rebound the Leopards in that first quarter, 15-11. Not a lot of rebounds because not a lot of misses. Laverne shot 40% in the first quarter and 73% in the second quarter. That's 54%. A little less efficient from outside, 2 of 8 from 3, and 1 of 2 from the foul line. Leading scorers, Kiara Brown, 16 points on 8 of 10 shooting. And for the Lynx, Catherine Altoff with 9 points. Also a very impressive first half, for Alyssa Bongiovanni. 7 rebounds, 3 points, 2 assists for the freshman off the bench as we get you ready for the second half of action. Laverne will go left to right in the forest green, orange, and black, or gray. Naomi Jackson, joined by Alyssa Smith, Marissa Howell, Kiara Brown, and Valentina Limon rounding out the starting lineup. As Brown goes to the rim, shot no good. Brown will get her own offensive rebound. Brown kicks out Jackson, had 3 assists in the first half. Jackson finds Howell. 5'3" guard from Santa Clarita. Drive in, kick out, good rotate around. Smith for 3. Back rim no good. And a rebound tracked down by Audrey Griffith. Griffith with a pair of 3s to start the game for the Lynx. Joined by Altoff Vlakos. This is Avery Marsh and Kirsten C., the starting 5 out there for head coach Judy Thurman. Longtime assistant under Rodney Rogan, who took the job at Johns Hopkins University in the offseason. Thurman.
A couple SAAs who took jobs in the Baltimore area.
Yes, Birmingham Southern's coach going to Goucher. Is that one?
I don't know anything about it. Just thought I'd mention it.
40-31, Lynx back in front by 9.
Sorry, couldn't resist. He's not having the same success as Hopkins right now.
Well, it's going to take some time. Is he running the system there? Is he going to try and run it?
He doesn't have the personnel just yet.
Okay, well, he runs that Grinnell offense. Yeah, it's really ugly when you don't have the personnel trying to run that offense.
Yeah.
Naomi Jackson fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line.
I'll see my fair share of games to assess.
Jackson at the foul line. Calmly rolls the first one in. Not a lot of free throws so far this year, just her 10th one. She's 4 of 9. Senior point guard from Moreno Valley. One thing that differentiates is that shot's no good. And Jackson, boy, fighting for the ball, creates the loose ball. We'll get back to that in a second. Great effort from Naomi Jackson. Kiara Brown, a little out of the reach, but nice save from Smith. Jackson, 9 on the shot clock. Naomi drives in, kicks out, open look at 3 for Limon. Good. Valentina Limon for 3. And the Leopards within 8. It's 40-32.
They're not going away, Gordon.
I was about to say is one thing that differentiates Laverne from the other schools in their conference, they have good size down low. The SCIAC teams tend to be really short. A lot of 5'2 guards and 5'5 forwards as that pass is out of bounds.
I wonder if she saw her teammate at midcourt and thought...
Yes, she was open.
Yeah. I've seen that a few times, even in Division I. Person at the scorer's table ends up being the intended receiver.
Yeah. 5 different SCIAC teams here. Laverne has men and women. Pomona Pitzer has their men here. And Occidental, who we'll see tomorrow. You'll see they have more of the traditional SCIAC roster size with a lot of shorter players on it. Naomi Jackson tries to drive in. Kick out, Howell. And a foul on Kirsten C. Jackson to inbound. Yeah, Jackson's listed as 5'5". Kirsten Say is listed as 5'6", and Kirsten Say's got about 6 inches on her. So one of them is not telling the truth.
Gee, where have we seen that before?
Bongiovanni down the floor. Good head fake. Althoff. No, but she's fouled as she gets Kiara Brown in the air.
Yeah, I got to take advantage of those. Put 2 in. Brown didn't get her that aggressively.
Althoff quietly putting together a very nice game here for the Lynx. We've been so wowed by their three-point shooting ability that we've missed the fact that Althoff has got 10 points now. 4 for 6 from the floor. Hit that 1-3 from the top of the arc. And splits a pair, but turn around, Catherine. Your teammate has the rebound and the basket. Gianna Velakos off the feed from Alyssa Bongiovanni again with a nifty find. 43-35, and every time the Leopards get it down to about 5, the Lynx go on a little burst and push it back towards double digits. Excellent defense from Althoff on Brown as Naomi Jackson intercepts the ball. Brown calls for it. Nice pass in the post. Blocked by Velakos and a foul. And Coach Thurman has changed things up. She's now got Althoff on Brown. That's not different, but she has Velakos cheating on a double. A nice pass from Jackson to thread it between the two. First of 2 games. Kind of what we anticipated would be the premier matchup between women's teams comes up next. A pair of teams who reached a Sweet 16 last year. The Trinity University Tigers out of San Antonio, who are nationally ranked, and the Ohio Northern Polar Bears out of Ohio, as the name would imply. Western Ohio. The Polar Bears missing one of their key players. Got off to a rough start, but have pieced it together. They were ranked in the preseason in the top 10. Althoff drives in, shoots it between the legs of her teammate.
Well, one would argue that Trinity, also missing a few of their players, is in the midst of a rough go.
Yeah, they've lost 2 in a row, and when the next poll comes out, if they win 2 here, that would help, but decent chance they won't be ranked. Trinity losing both games to Northwest Conference foes, Puget Sound and Willamette. Kiara Brown whacked by somebody, I think maybe her own teammate. Naomi Jackson feeds it to Brown. Brown drives in, kick out, open look in the corner, no. Nice pass, backdoor cut, Brown can't finish. Oh, but the player there, Torres, there to grab the rebound, and she's fouled. So nice find from Brianna Torres. Rewarded for the hard work.
Avery Marsh with the foul, and Avery Marsh making a comment to the official about something on the other end of the floor.
That's the 4th foul on the Lynx, so 5 is the bonus in women's college basketball. 6:11 to play. Verne, a chance to maybe do some damage at the foul line. Pass inside, a tough angle, even though it was close in. And Kiara Brown a little over aggressive on the baseline, fouls Kirsten Say. Kirsten C will come back and inbound the ball. Looks like the Leopards are going to go with a full court press. C, Marsh, and Velakos all in the front court. This is Velakos, who will put it on the floor. Kirsten C finds her way across the half court. Now the Rhodes Lynx will set their offense. Ania Lagarde in the game with the right leg brace on. Lagarde looking at Bongiovanni, little high, and Brown will corral the loose ball. 43-35. Lynx have pretty much led throughout. Naomi Jackson drives in, shot no good, and a whistle, and that is the 5th team foul. Free throws anyway, but Leopards will be in the bonus the rest of the period. Foul is on, I think he showed 33, that would be Bongiovanni.
It's a significant amount of time to be in the bonus.
Yeah. Well, we only had 10 fouls total in the first half. Naomi Jackson's first free throw, no good. University of Laverne Leopards trying to get back to the top of the SCIAC and win the automatic bid. 2-0 in conference play, so off to a good start. Laverne, the preseason favorites in that conference. Claremont and Redlands, usually pretty good.
I was going to say, that's a sneaky conference in terms of competition.
No.
They're not going to get that easy.
No, Chapman usually pretty solid.
Yeah,
so.
Good point.
.43-35. Kaylin Harang checks in for the Leopards. She hit a 3 in the first half. Freshman from California jars the ball free from, oops.
Yep.
Jars the ball free, and then Brianna Torres goes for what looks like a loose ball and ends up landing in the chest of the Lynx basketball player.
It was loose ball when she was 20 feet away.
Right.
It was no longer a loose ball when she arrived.
Kirsten C. inbounds. C. Volokov, Althoff. It's the starting lineups for the Lynx. We'll just put it that way. And another basket, as Althoff has been the beneficiary of some nifty passing, and she's done a great job finishing. 45-35, back to a double-digit lead, and Althoff up to 12 points. Brown, who's not on the floor, she got to 16 in a hurry. She has not scored since. Only has 2 shots this half, and Avery Marsh with the block. Marsh off the screen.
She had 11 blocks coming in today.
Yeah, good anticipation for the Lynx guard. Torres picks up her 4th foul, so she's going to have to go to the bench for a while. 4:39 to play in the 3rd quarter. AC Milam checks back in. Free throw up and good for Avery Marsh. Team's leading scorer. Only player on the Lynx who started every game. Audrey Griffith missed 1, and as did Kirsten Say, but a lot of mix and match for Coach Thurman, who again hopes to get Taylor Dupree, who's the Conference Defensive Player of the Year as a freshman, back when they get into conference play. 47-35. Laverne brings Alyssa Smith back out on the floor. Also, Tay Limon returns. The Limon sisters, thankfully, for me at least, have not been on the floor together. Naomi Jackson up and good. And a timeout taken by Coach Mason, I think. Yeah. And we'll take it with him. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic.
Liberal arts school and majoring in business, it definitely gives you both perspectives because I'm taking classes about art and music. I've been taking religious studies classes, but then I'm also taking these very specific classes about accounting or statistics and finance. So I'm glad that I went to a liberal arts school because I definitely got a completely different side of the education rather than just being a business major.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome back to South Point Casino Arena and Resort. The Lynx with a 10-point lead and the ball. Rhodes University leading the University of Laverne out of Southern California. Laverne trying to get something going out of the press. Jackson knocks it away out of bounds. The Rhodes has done... Well, Rhodes has turned the ball over 11 times to Laverne's 8, but I don't think they've resulted in very many points. Pass inbounds to Althoff. Althoff guarded by Kiara Brown, who's returned. And Althoff needs help. Dishes off Velakos, gets to the ball and did not get across the timeline.
Yeah, good defense from the Leopards there to cause the pressure and cause Lynx to go backwards instead of forwards, wasting the clock.
12th turnover by Rhodes. To this point, Laverne has just 6 points off those turnovers. We'll look to add to it here. Laverne has turned the ball over 8 times, and Rhodes has 6 points off of those turnovers. Harang turns around. Brown breaks to the rim. Harang goes to the vacated spot, and Gianna Velakos blocks the shot. Job by Velakos. Rhodes last year won their conference, beat Center for the automatic bid, then lost to Transylvania in the first round. Transylvania won the national championship, so no shame in that. Kiara Brown back to work. Basket is good. First bucket in a little while for Brown. She's got 18 points. Pass wide open, Bongiovanni, as the Lynx make them pay for the press and push the lead immediately back to 10.
Althoff landed a little bit awkwardly there after releasing the pass, so good that they got the points.
Bongiovanni, 5 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. Caitlin Harang in. Brown, jumper, no. Rebound, Bongiovanni. She's got double digits now in that category and looking for some help. Shuffles the ball.
Oh, Althoff's fallen a second time. This
Yeah,
time
she's
accidentally tripped up.
Having trouble staying on her feet.
First time she was on her own. The second time I think she got tangled with a Laverne player.
Althoff drops the ball off for Bongiovanni, who's played big minutes for Coach Thurman. Drives in, forces the issue, and a foul going to be called. I think that's Naomi Jackson.
Yeah, she was reaching from behind to try and get to the ball and gave a bear hug.
Just the first one on Jackson, but it is now 5 on the Leopards, so Rhodes goes to the free throw line where they are, again, extremely good. 74% free throw shooters, 15th in the country out of 400 teams, give or take, and Bongiovanni with the basket. Bongiovanni, 9th game of the year, has not started. Came into this game averaging 6 points, 6 rebounds, and less than 1 assist. And she is blown those averages away now.
There's some players who are just pretty darn good coming off the bench.
Yeah. Bongiovanni will get a break. Audrey Griffin returns. Shot, Brown fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. Foul trouble. Torres with 4. Kiara Brown with 3. The Lynx have magically distributed their fouls almost perfectly. Nobody has more than 2. And almost everybody has at least 1. Free throw up and no good for Brown. Mentioned that Brown leads the team in a bunch of categories. Good free throw shooter too, 83%. Second on the team to Marissa Howell as Naomi Jackson will get a break.
Aaron Wiggins returns.
Yeah. First action of the second half for the senior swing from Hellendale, California, Aaron Wiggins.
Also in is Alyssa Smith as she gives Brianna Torres a break.
Althoff for C. C has a teammate Marsh to her left. Gives it off for Althoff instead. 51-40, 11-point Lynx lead. Velakos for Althoff. If you're Leopards, you'd really like to get this to 5 points or so before the end of the quarter because Lynx have been hanging out here in double digits for a while. C, outside, open look for 3 for Milam, no. And the rebound comes long into the hands of Marissa Howell.
That could have been a backbreaker of a 3 if it had gone.
Yeah. Howell guarded by the taller Marsh. Kick out, Harang won't take it. 3 on the way, up and off the mark. No good, but a good, well-saved momentarily. Alyssa Smith with the miss. And now Rhodes will bring it up the floor, continuing to nurse that 11-point lead, 51-40. Milam will run the point. Gianna Velakos. Driving in Avery Marsh, off balance shot, no good. Ball ricochets around before Brown controls.
I know this is going to seem strange to say, but even in a loss, this game is a benefit to Laverne.
Well, it helps the strength of the schedule. Yeah,
exactly.
You figure Rhodes, unless things completely fall apart for them, they'll be on the upper half of their conference. Usually better than that. On the run, here comes Avery Marsh. Marsh head fake, drive, shot, and
blocking foul.
Blocking foul. One thing, the teams from the SAA have not generally had a lot in the regional rankings on the women's side. Rhodes won this conference with a 17-12 record last year and 10-4 out of in conference. Center was the top was the one in that conference.
We're just tapping into that and who they play, because they play a lot of teams around them in terms of the CCIW, the WIAC, MIAA, HCAC, etc.
Well, it's got to be more beneficial than another game against an NAIA team in Southern California.
As you and I both know, having an 0-1 results versus regional ranked is one thing. Having zero games in that category is even.
Because the SCIAC is also not going to put multiple teams in the regional rankings, very likely. 53-40.
Of course, in the newfangled regional rankings where Trinity, Texas now sits.
Yeah, they're in that same region.
Yeah, they're in the same region now.
That's a tough region because that's got the ASC teams in it as well as the Northwest Conference team. So that's a very deep region. Region 10. Pass down into the post. Kiara Brown hangs. Couldn't quite get it to drop, but she'll get free throws.
I miss the names. I miss the name regions.
Yeah, and the SCAC, Trinity, and Colorado College is decent this year. Texas Lutheran looks pretty good, so that's going to be a rough region to get ranked in. Kiara Brown to the free throw line.
That was part of the problem last year.
Yeah.
With great record, but with nothing else to go with it, they couldn't get out from behind all these other teams in that region, and maybe deserve to be.
Yeah, Redlands represented the conference in the tournament. Did all right. Those teams also are perpetually going to be on the road somewhere in the NCAA tournament, making a long flight. 53-42. Rhodes on top by 11. Leopards have not been able to make headway against that double-digit lead. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Bongiovanni, who's been the quiet star, back in the game. Pass. Good look from Willingham, but a touch too high as she was trying to hit Juliet Howell.
I like the play. It's a nice little design there. Just pass was a little too high for get corralled in.
One thing Laverne does not have going for him right now, and one of probably several things, they are 1 for 6 from 3 since the first quarter, and now just 3 of 11 from behind the arc. McGill checks in, tries to draw contact. Vlachos blocks it. Once again, bodies on the floor. 6 on the clock. Bongiovanni pass, wide open. Willingham hesitates and scores. And once again, Bongiovanni with the find. Wow. She has been a revelation in this game, and the Lynx on top 55-42. What a finish to that quarter, and that is a crushing blow to the Leopards, who were hoping to get it down to single digits. Now it's all the way up to 13. We'll take a break, come back for the fourth quarter from Las Vegas.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
The beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.
Fourth quarter, first game of 6 in our 13th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. Laverne got some work to do to come back against Rhodes. The Lynx now up 13, largest lead of the game. Off that basket by Willingham to close the third quarter, but Lynx turns the ball over quickly. And
yeah, good chance here for Laverne quickly to start this quarter.
They've had a hard time establishing anyone other than Brown offensively since the first quarter. Naomi Jackson, Limon, Harang, Brown, and McGill, and an interesting 5 on the floor for the Leopards. And they are 3 of 11 from outside. Brown, 8 on the shot clock. She'll take the 3. That's well short. And the rebound controlled by Rhodes. Avery Marsh, who's got a dozen points.
Brown 0 for 5 in that category from beyond the arc.
Gianno Velakos also has a dozen points. Nice give and go with Althoff. Velakos will kick out. Open look for 3. Avery Marsh will take it. No good. And the rebound controlled by Brown.
Should point out that 0 for 5 coming into the game for Brown, not today.
Yeah.
So I suddenly realized I may have made that sound like it was today. She's played well.
Not a willing three-point shooter, I don't think. Naomi Jackson finds a spot she likes. Pull-up jumper, no. And Laverne may be having problems with that backdrop and the perspective as shots are short all over the place.
I also wonder if they're running out of gas. Brown looks exhausted. They're kind of walking up the floor when they had been running previously.
Audrey Griffith with the basket.
I wonder if Rhodes has just a little bit more calisthenics.
Griffith heading towards double digits now. Dozen points for Marsh and Althoff. Drive in, Jackson can't get the shot to fall, but she's fouled by Audrey Griffith.
Good try.
And free throws coming for Jackson, whose second leading scorer was 7 points. But after that, so Brown has 9 field goals. Jackson has 3. The rest of the team combined has 5. Jackson at the foul line. McGill checks out. Marissa Howell returns. Jackson hits the first free throw. Leopards 5 of 12 from the foul line. Lynx 10 of 13. And Jackson misses the second as lead remains 14. Thurman, graduate of University of Mobile, a NAIA program. Also coached for a while at Division II West Alabama. Griffith thinks about a 3. Rotate around. Althoff. Oh, nifty pass for Velakos, who can't get it to fall, but she's fouled.
That's a great pass.
What a look from Althoff to Velakos, who they have a really good chemistry between the two of them. As
kind of a wraparound pass.
Yeah.
Started no look.
Limon checks out. Harang returns. 7:49 to play.
So I with the Lynx and Leopards as mascots, I thought about bringing my D3 book.
Oh, I've got it.
I was wondering if you did, because I figured we didn't need 2 of them.
Yeah.
I left mine at home, this great book about all the mascots in Division III and their history, as the second free throw is good. Lead up to 15 now for the Lynx, under 8 to play here in the fourth, as Rhodes has played pretty strong. A nice steal attempt. Bounces to an open 3 look. Missed the rim. Lynx coming back with the lead to 15. I almost brought it, but I thought, Gordon, you know what? You probably will. We don't need 2 copies in the building.
Leopards bringing the ball up the floor. Down 15 now. Is Laverne's inability to shoot threes of going to make comeback tough. Naomi Jackson shot no good. And Ania Lagarde will check back in for the Lynx.
Neither team has tremendous three-point shooting in terms of a team coming in. But so far in the game, it has definitely been the advantage. That might be the only thing that has stood out amongst these teams. Has been just a few more shots made from deep for the Rhodes, and that's going to be an illegal screen. Good call there. Off ball, as trying to set the screen was Harang, and she kind of moved into the player running through her and tripped her up. That's her third.
Laverne back on defense. Rhodes brings the ball up the floor.
Good pressure from Laverne, but Rhodes has started to handle it, and now they'll call timeout, Will Rhodes, and there'll be a 30 to discuss things, and you can educate us on where in the world Lynx came from, maybe.
All right, well, let's start with the Leopards. Laverne was established in 1891 as Lordsburg College.
Oh.
The school followed the surrounding community when it changed its name to Laverne in 1917. And then the leopard was adopted as their mascot a few years later when a missionary serving in Africa sent a stuffed leopard to the college in the early 1920s. So the mascot comes from a taxidermied leopard sent by a missionary to the school. That is
brilliant.
A good thing he didn't send him a wombat or something. They'd be the Laverne Wombats. So
that is brilliant. See, that's why I wanted the book. It's little nuggets like that that are just brilliant.
We will get you the story behind the Rhodes Lynx at the next dead ball. 58-43. Unless it's a full timeout, which case we'll give you their sponsored spot instead. I'm sure they'd appreciate that.
They will.
3 on the way is good, and this is turning into a sponsored spot for the women's basketball team. They are up 18.
Yeah, this is impressive.
And putting Laverne, who is undefeated against Division III, deep in their rearview mirror.
Laverne's going to have to shake this off. They've got another tough test ahead of them in their next game. Both teams I think both teams for Rhodes play on Saturday, right?
Saturday? Yeah, they play in those last games.
Right.
Yeah, and Rhodes men. Oh, and Laverne, they play on Saturday.
Right. We'll have a rematch of this game on the male side.
A split doubleheader, split by 3 days. 61-43. Lynx.
I did notice that while putting graphics together. I thought I was seeing things.
Save that scoreboard graphic work for you.
It did save me some time. Yes, it actually did.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Kirsten C. drives to the baseline, shut off by Torres. Vlachos finds C. C for 3.
No, long 2. That doesn't matter.
Yep. Harang
got a foot on the line.
The Leopards bring the ball down the floor, down 18, and Naomi Jackson blows by both defenders but misses the layup. The Leopards, again, getting 12 field goals from Jackson and Brown and a combined 6 from everybody else. Drive in, off glass, and good for Ania Lagarde. Lagarde's got 4. Contrast that with the Lynx. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different players with multiple field goals. And a timeout taken. It's a 30-second timeout.
Just realized our timeouts are off. I apologize to those at home. I know they're tracking these things.
All right, so here's the story behind the Rhodes College Lynx. The Rhodes Lynx was the choice of the former president, Charles Deal, who served for over 20 years when the Memphis school was known as Southwestern, which now another Division III school with that name.
Yep.
Deal picked the small North American cat in 1924 for its agility, keen vision, and feisty nature. The nickname remained in place as the school changed to Southwestern at Memphis, that's a mouthful, and then Rhodes College in honor of Deal's successor, Peyton Nail Rhodes. A live mascot was kept on campus for a few years in the 60s.
What?
A live lynx, yes. But currently the college uses a conventional costume mascot, formerly known as Maximus, now known as Leroy.
The way that's written, it makes it seem like maybe the live one was brought to games. You know what I mean?
We hope so. Chris Pio's.
I would love to see that.
Griffins, Gorlocks, and Gusties, a must for every Division III fan. As that
seriously
shot is up and no good for the Leopards.
It's too bad it's after Christmas because I would say it makes a great Christmas present.
It does, yes. Howell will take the 3, and that is good. Badly needed 3 from Howell, her second of the game. She becomes the third player with 2 field goals, and the lead closes a little bit. It's 63-46. Vlachos down the floor. Brown chases her. Brown has got 4 fouls, so she has to be careful. 4:51 to play. Drive in. Shot off glass, no. Vlachos there for the rebound. Shuffles it off for Bongiovanni with the jumper, and it's good. Bongiovanni with 9 points and 11 rebounds.
She's had a great game.
Naomi Jackson bringing the ball down the floor. 4:33 to play. Lynx 45-36 as they led by 11 in the first quarter. Leopards got it even, then back to 11, and now has expanded to an ever-widening gap. 19 at the moment. Foul, and Brown heads to the free throw line. Second game coming up. Ohio Northern and Trinity of Texas, or as we'll simply call them the rest of the event, Trinity.
Sure. We might come up with other names.
Oh, we could call them Trinitexas. Free throw up and good for Brown.
You will see one of the more dapper dressed coaches in Division III in Cameron
Hill.
Cameron Hill, when he gets to the sideline. You might have seen him in the lower angle of the camera shots.
Richard Reed from Laverne is always a sharp dresser,
too.
Men's
Good
head
call.
coach.
He was dressed like a construction worker at practice last night.
Bongiovanni got it, count it, going to the line. Double-double for the freshman from Franklin. And a free throw coming.
Keep an eye on her the rest of her career.
Yeah.
Yeah, to quickly wrap up Reed. He literally walked over to us wearing a fluorescent yellow vest with
that's not part of their color scheme.
Stripes. Yeah, and it took me a second to realize it was him because I had basically been blowing the person off.
Yeah.
He wore that the entire practice.
Bongiovanni hits the free throw. Career game for her. Early career, but 12 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists in under 20 minutes.
Yeah. Productive would be an understatement.
McGill kicks over.
And a few blocks, I think, too, right?
She's done everything. As there's another for the Lynx. There's Bongiovanni, right on cue.
I'm going to the blackjack table. Wow.
Avery Marsh.
Inside the defensive sphere or the offensive sphere, whatever you want to call it.
And that is Brianna Torres' 5th foul. So Laverne, who's brought a small army of players.
Yeah, they have.
Got a lot of players.
One of the larger benches you would see.
Yeah, they're from Los Angeles, so talked to Coach Mason, said it was a very easy trip in, a few hours drive, little initial bus trouble, but
the men flew.
Really?
Because their game
coming
moving,
from somewhere else?
No, their game moving to the end of the event.
Oh.
He wanted to get back a little quicker.
Okay.
And not deal with any traffic on New Year's.
Oh, okay.
New Year's Eve. And get out, if he could, and back so they can get ready for their first conference game on the 3rd.
Jumper up and good. I understand from my talk with the Rhodes staff that their trip was rocky.
Yeah, Trinity, Texas, same.
Started at 3:15 in the morning.
Whoa.
Got in here for practice, but they don't look any the worse for it. They're up 21. Maybe Coach Thurman will institute the 3:15 practice rule.
Oh, no, I quit.
McGill to the foul line. Allison McGill from Ontario, right not too far out of Los Angeles.
Wait, so did Rose come in today?
No, yesterday.
Oh, well, okay. I thought I was losing my mind there. Trinity,
that
Texas,
would really be something.
Trinity, Texas got in at 2 a.m. yesterday.
Okay.
Because they went through Denver. Well, that's right. Good call.
Allison McGill splits a pair. Nice rebound from Alyssa Smith.
They were waiting for their plane from Denver. I apologize.
Leopards still fighting, and Marissa Howell for 3.
Well, when Bongiovanni's nowhere close to blocking her shots, they fall.
17-point lead for the
pressure on
Lynx. 3:07 to play, so still feels like a fairly safe margin. The Leopards trying to apply some pressure, create some mistakes, see what can happen. Bongiovanni, as Althoff blows by Brown, hands off for Vlachos, looks at a 3. Milam drives in, kicks out. Bongiovanni, if she found somebody, imagine if that went to somebody for a layup.
Well, more importantly, Brown touched it on the way out, so it's going to
saves
stay
the
Lynx
possession.
ball.
Yeah. Or look at her. You see the bench.
Yeah.
mimicking their teammate with the Stretch Armstrong save.
Stretch with a toe poke.
3 seconds on the shot clock.
Anything Bongiovanni has not done today?
Hit a 3 at the buzzer. Give it to her.
Okay.
Oh, well, nope, not going to get a chance.
No.
Kiara Brown reaching, and good effort from Brown as they needed to try and create some mistakes. That is Brown's 5th. She has joined Brianna Torres in fouling out.
Well, Verne fought, that's for sure. Just didn't have the firepower on offense.
Yeah, they got Brown going early, but they never got anything else to complement it.
Howell a few times, but not consistently, unfortunately.
Yeah, Brown finishes with 22 points on 9 of 16 shooting. Yep, 6 rebounds and an assist. In a foul-limited 29 minutes, Kaylin Harang will check back in. University of Laverne will pick up their first loss to a Division III opponent. They'll drop to 5-2. Got another one coming here, and then they'll head back to conference play. Althoff, who's played well. This is the first free throw. Althoff with 12 points, 6 rebounds. Other than Velakos, who's played has played the entire game. Thurman has done a nice job mixing and matching with different elements of her bench. You imagine when they get Dupree back. And I don't know the nature of McCown's injury, but McCown started 3 games when she was healthy, so help may be on the way for the Lynx. Just in time for conference play, as the rest of the SCAA says, oh, good.
By the way, you mentioned Southwestern earlier. They're the ones who will be coming with Trinity to that conference next year.
Oh, yes. Southwestern of Texas, not Southwestern of Memphis, as Rhodes was apparently once known. Imagine that one on a T-shirt. Vlachos all alone. Oh. Well. 2 alone. All right, that's a rough one, but she's had a good game.
Well, you could.
Maybe she's tired. She's played 38 minutes. She hasn't come off the floor yet. Jackson for 3. No.
I'll take your Southwestern of Memphis and match you an actual University of Mississippi of Women or whatever.
Yeah, Mississippi University of Women. That's another one that does.
Just
or as they're calling themselves, aren't they calling themselves now the W?
Yes.
Which is weird because doesn't that mean the women for a school with
And I
with
think
men?
they're going through a name change.
Well, no surprise there.
Well, they finally said we've got to do it after years of saying no. We're going to hold on to our heritage.
Well, I know it's a tough emotional issue. I remember when Randolph-Macon Women's College changed to Randolph.
Yep.
Jumper on the way, up and good.
Of course. Guess who?
Yes, Bongiovanni with
You'd
14.
be correct. Timeout for subs. Just getting a timeout here. Just get the subs in.
Althoff to the bench.
And
Vlachos with a Iron Man performance, 38 minutes. Sailor Donaldson, the sophomore from Baton Rouge, checks in.
Laverne brought in a whole new line.
Yeah. Laverne is...
Including the new numbers, including 6s and 7s.
Yes. Well, 6 would be Fiona Hale.
She's actually not out there.
Yeah, 34 for Laverne. We're going to the game roster. 34 is Attila Watkins.
Oh, guess
we know who this is. This is Bongiovanni. Weaves her way between a couple of players. Throws it off glass, no good. And rebound controlled.
No call, but she got hit hard in the nose.
Laverne players, you've got Watkins, who we just mentioned. This is a long 3 off the hands of Jennifer Morales. Out of bounds. Number 7 for the Leopards is the freshman from Carlsbad, California. That's Cadence Hook. Number 13, Crystal Menyavar from El Monte, California, 5'3" senior guard. And I think that's all of them. Nope, Madison Salisbury, junior guard from Claremont, California. Coming up the floor, this is Juliet Howell. Tries to find Schiff, her teammate. Ball knocked away.
Yeah, I got a little sloppy there. Coach for Rhodes wants to talk that over a little bit more.
Haley Schiff, junior guard. Well, rest of the day, we told you about the Ohio Northern Trinity game, and then on to the men's side. Should be fun. Laverne men will be in action. They take on Husson University out of Bangor, Maine. Love those cross-coast matchups. Rhodes men in action. They'll take on the Whittier College Poets. Same conference as Laverne. And then the marquee matchups later on tonight. A great doubleheader. Number 22 ranked Trinity, Texas will take on one-loss Clark out of Worcester, Massachusetts. And the big battle, the 8th ranked Case Western Reserve Spartans taking on the 4th ranked Oswego State Lakers. So stay up late.
We're pacing ourselves.
12 seconds on the shot clock. Willingham's jumper no good. Ball falls into the hands of Howell, who tries to force it to Haley Schiff. Schiff out of bounds as she tries to save it. A lot of great matchups on the men's side. A lot of teams with 1 or no losses. Case Western and Oswego undefeated. Clark with just 1 loss.
And it's a close loss to a very good Tufts team.
3 on the way. As Morales is off the mark. Actually, it's Menuvar, excuse me.
Bounced out of bounds.
Off of Tay-Limon. Actually, that's Morales. Jennifer Morales. 21. Final 8 seconds on the clock. Lynx gonna put this one away. It's a comfortable win. An impressive fashion for the Rhodes College Lynx as the Lynx go back above 500 with a resounding victory. They roll over Laverne this afternoon, or this morning, depending on where you are, 71-51.
Yeah, pretty impressive job by Rhodes, who had Laverne kind of neck and neck with them for the first half and started the third, but they put their foot down about midway through the third quarter. Laverne just couldn't keep pace and stretched the lead out despite a bit of a run back by Laverne. They were able to withstand it and control the fourth quarter.
Rhodes finishes shooting 52% from the floor, 26 of 50, 6 of 13 from behind the arc, and their normal, very efficient from the foul line, 13 of 18. That's a touch below their season average, but still plenty good. Rhodes out-rebounds the Leopards 40-28. They outscore the Leopards on the bench 26-5. Outscore the Leopards in the fast break 12-3. And, well, you get the picture from there, as the leading scorer, fittingly for Rhodes, is the game she played. Alyssa Bongiovanni, 14 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, all career highs for the first-year player from Franklin, Tennessee. Catherine Altoff with 13 points for the Lynx, and Avery Marsh with 12 points and 6 rebounds in 33 minutes for the Lynx. For the Leopards, they were led by Kiara Brown, 9 of 16 for 22 points, 4 of 8 from the foul line, 6 rebounds before fouling out in 29 minutes of action. Marissa Howell with 9 points, Naomi Jackson with 8. So that will do it for us for game number 1 of 6 on day number 2 of 4. University of Laverne falls to Rhodes College. Rhodes with an impressive victory. They improved to 5-4. Both teams will be back in action later on in the Classic. We'll take a break and come back in just a bit. New stream, cue it up. It'll be the Trinity Tigers out of San Antonio and the Ohio Northern University Polar Bears out of Ada, Ohio. For Dave McHugh, Pat Coleman, and everyone here for game number 1. Be back in a bit, everyone.
Beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.